Okay, guys, this is going to be a quick video on the online booking module that we're ready to deploy. We are still working on it, but I want to give you guys a heads up of where we're heading. And if you want to, you can put it on your site and play around with it. You don't want to replace any submitting forms or anything you have now, but let's just kind of try to get it out there in the public, and I'll take some feedback on it as well. The first thing you do is you go into admin and you go into job setup and go into services. And if you call up any of these services, we've added a new value here, and it's called the public view. I need to clean up this and make this look a little better. But if that's checked, that means it's going to show on your website submit form. If it's not checked, it's not going to show. The next thing you want to do to set the form up is go into your form manager. You basically have three things here. What color do you want your banner to be? What do you want the title to say? And who gets the email when it's submitted? That's your internal person that's going to get an email every time someone submits a request. You want to take these instructions and give to your web developer and have him embed that line of code there and tie it to a button or something on your website that will execute that form. So that's all you do. You give this, you make sure you save these values here. Your company number will then be key right here. If your company number is right here, you're good to go. Give it to your web guy, have him plug it into your website. Well, I'm going to go out to my website. This is where we're demoing it. I go here to work order request. This submit form comes up. I'm going to go here and I'm going to pick one of these guys. Everything is mandatory. So I'm going to put my email address in here. That means I'm going to get 2 emails because I'm the one on the form admin and I'm the user here. So if I go select, and these are the products that I said are public. So I'm going to go public pressure washing driveway. And then here you can key a description. You don't have to key a description. Everything else is mandatory. The name, and we're going to pull the first name out as not being mandatory. But everything else, the phone number, the zip code, the address, what's their problem, when do they want it? That's all it is a request date. So I'm going to submit that. What that does is that sends an email to the person who's submitting the request and also to the person in your company that you've labeled to receive those requests from. So I'm going to get 2 emails here because I'm both of those people. And there's the one that's coming internally. So we know now we've got Jerry wanting a pressure wash of a driveway. So going back to the Service Pros admin data view now, you've got 2 jobs here. One's pressure washing a house, one's pressure washing a driveway. I'm going to click the add button here. You can reject this thing if you don't want that job. But you got to look at this job and say, what is this? Is this a job that we're ready to go do, or is this something that needs to go into the CRM? So I'm going to say this is a job we need to go do. So Jerry Perth, I'm going to add him as a work order or a job. Now he goes away from this right here, this grid. He's gone. He's back under. If you can pull history of how many did you push to work order, how many did you push to leads, how many did you reject, as well as how many pendings, what we have here. If I want to take this Mark Guthman and I'm going to click add here, I'm going to say, okay, we don't know if we want that job. He may be looking for an install of a fireplace in a new house, and he's looking for an estimate. So I'm going to add him to the CRM. And now he's gone. So if I go back here and I look at my jobs now, here's Jerry that we pushed through. It's an open work order, ready to get assigned and put on the schedule. Everything's here. And if I go to the CRM, here is Mark in an unassigned mode. Now, one thing we are going to look into is when you do push it to the CRM, we're going to give you the ability to assign it to a technician or not. It just gets the basic information, puts the notes that he keyed in into here and ready to assign it to an owner, and then start the activity logs and dialogue and go from there. So again, that's the first draft overview of it. You go to here and you get this code, these instructions, hand to your web developer. He's going to plug it into your website and create an embedded form like this. Once they submit it, it's going to send you an email as well as them an email, and it writes it to that grid. It doesn't push it to work order management. It doesn't push it to the CRM. It writes it to this grid right here. So you can then review it. It might be a job. It might be an estimate. You might not want the job at all, and that would mean you could reject it. So again, I'm ready to get some feedback. Anybody wants to jump in there and plug it into your website. Don't replace any submit you have now, and we can play around with it and go from there. Thanks, and let me know.